Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another session of podcast. I wish and I'm sure you will enjoy listening to the broadcast.
Our topic for today is exercise. Now, none of us can really deny the importance of exercise in our lives. Animals, owing to their lifestyle, automatically get exercise because if they graze or they hunt, they get exercise. Humans have to take an effort to exercise. And while some of us do it passionately, some of us try to ignore it, and some of us don't even want to look at exercise or discuss the benefits. Still, we cannot deny that it's very necessary owing to human lifestyle, especially as of today. So, in our conversation with Dr. Nandagopalan today, what we're going to look at is what is really exercise? How should one exercise? What are the benefits you should look at when you're exercising to know that you're on the right track and what to expect out of regular exercise? So, sir, before we even start off into all of these details, what is exercise? Is it possible to define? Yeah, this is what is called as exercise.
Yeah, the word exercise means any body movements or bodily activity which helps you to gain good health, good fitness, and good wellness. This is what is exercise. Any body activity, any bodily activity is exercise. That's very clear. Yeah.
So, are there some requirements that should constitute as exercise? Some basic requirements, for example, the heart rate, or the blood pressure, lowering of blood pressure, or the increase of the heart rate, or is it possible to define some requirements to say that if these are met, you are in the process of exercising?
Like every individual is a man or a woman, as the day go by. When we get up in the morning and we go to sleep in the night, and we are involved with many of our day-to-day activities with respect to our life. So if you look at that, any body movement is an exercise. For example, if you are going to go to the bathroom and take bath, it's a big process of exercise. Remove all your clothes, go inside and drench yourself and apply soap and scrub yourself and whatnot, and then wipe yourself, put up your clothes back and all that kind of thing. So then whatever work you're doing in the kitchen, whatever household work you do, whatever personal work you do, going to shop by walk and coming, all are exercise. In exercise, what happens, as you asked, there are two organs in the body which is majorly important to us. Of course, all the organs are important to us, out of which the heart and the lung. These two guys, they get exercised when your bodily movements are going on. Because when you walk fast, the heart starts pumping more. That's how the heart walls, the heart muscles get strengthened. When the heartbeat goes more, then a lot of blood rushes to the pulmonary, to the lung. Then the lung has to supply oxygen, So what happens is the lung, you start breathing more. So the lung expands and shrinks and expands. If you see a good, sportsman, the guys who go through vigorous training in tennis, football and all that, because of so much of physical training that they go through, is if you see the rib gauge will be broader. You can really make your rib gauge broader by if you can skip around 5,000 skip a day, your rib gauge becomes broader because your lung is expanding. Your lung cells will be more. You can see all that stuff. Your heart rate will be good. When you are quiet sitting down, for a good tennis player of number one guys in the world and all that, who play Wimbledon, US Open, French Open and all that, their heart rate will be hardly 50 when they are quiet. As they start playing more and more and more, their heartbeat come to normal 72, 75.
Right.
Yeah, so much of potency will come to your heart and lung with vigorous training of exercise. That is for sports personality. To live a healthy, normal life, you need a good amount of bodily movement on a daily basis. This is what you have to understand.
So what I hear you saying, sir, is that any bodily movement, any normal bodily movement, will constitute as exercise. It could be a traditional form of exercise, or it could be just work.
Sure, like washing clothes, drying them, folding them, sweeping the house, swabbing the house, bringing food from the kitchen to the table, clearing the table, washing vessels. Everything is an exercise.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we really want to do all of this, we don't need to go to the gym.
No, exercise as a separate part. See, suppose you are playing games, it's a big exercise. 1 hour of shuttle, if you play 1 hour of shuttle every day, if you are an asthmatic patient, your asthma will go away from you. It will not be there anymore after 6 months. No wheezing will be found in you because you are exercising your lungs so much.
Okay.
That's the truth.
So how does, with regular exercise, a normal, healthy human adult, with regular exercise, how does it transform the body? What can you expect after, say, about 2 years of regular, normal exercise? Nothing too strenuous, but a normal exercise. So, what can I expect? How will my body be transformed after that?
No. First of all, you have to. There are two different questions in this question. What you are asking me, which is the best form of exercise? The best form of exercise is walking. 1 hour a day, it's good enough. Normal walking. You don't need to walk like a soldier. Normal walking. The better one than that is jogging, a slow jog for about an hour a day. The third one is skipping. Yeah. The ultimate one is swimming.
Right.
Swimming is totally a different exercise altogether because you are in the water body. So swimming gives you lots of benefit. So walking, jogging, skipping, swimming, all these things are most tremendous form of exercises. Then after that, it's playing games. If you play 1 hour a day table tennis or a tennis, lawn tennis or a clay court tennis or shuttle for about an hour a day or football for about an hour a day, cricket, all kinds of games where you run. You run quite a bit. So they are the ultimate best form of exercise. So this is one. So what is the benefit you get out of exercise? It's a different ball game altogether. It's a different subject altogether. So what happens is there are huge amount of blood vessels in our body, which is supported by the cardiovascular system. The blood to flow has to give oxygen to the each and every individual cells of nearly about 100 trillion cells that in our calculation will be around 10 lakh crores cells in the body. So oxidative stress should not be there by the lack of oxygen. So as you exercise, your heart rate, breathing, everything is going on in a good rhythm. A rhythmic function is what is being noticed and observed in all the internal organ function. So this rhythmic function, as it increases its rate, the cardiovascular system will start moving. The blood flow, the vascularization part of the body will be good. The capillary blood flow, especially, there are lots and lots and lots of capillaries everywhere in your body, which is 1/16th of a human hair as a blood vessel, where the capillary movements will also be good. Now the next is you start sweating. So what happens here is there's some amount of fat elimination. What exactly happens to this fat is 15 to 25% it gets converted into water, 75% it's converted into carbon dioxide. So you breathe a lot, so you discharge all the CO2 where the fat is melted. This is one. More than that, body tries to eliminate all the impurities. This is what is brilliantly happening there. The load onto your kidney is on the lower side because you are eliminating the dirt part of the cells through your sweating. Now, in this, you have to understand one thing, which is a very big subject. The faulty proteins. Modern science has started seeing in the last 50 years, each and every cell in our body produce components required for themselves on their own. Basically, we have so far identified more than 150,000 different types of proteins in our body. So, there are a lot of protein components in our cell. What is a protein? Protein is a sequence of amino acids. These amino acids are produced by the cell and they sequence them and produce a protein. As they sequence them, if they do the wrong sequencing, say for example A, B, C, D, E, F, G, one after another has to be sequenced, you get a protein. Suppose instead of B it keeps a C, then it becomes a faulty protein. These faulty proteins are rejected by the cell. Where it goes? It goes to the lysosome, which is a dustbin in the cell. These faulty proteins are, very difficult to be eliminated by the cell from outside the cell. They have to. It's a dirt sitting there. When faulty protein gets collected a lot, when other bacteria and viral attack us, these faulty proteins become their food, so they can breed faster. Exercising is the one, playing good 1 hour of some game or a swimming or skipping or good running or walking, you're sweating. At that time, it is easy for the human cells to eliminate these faulty cells and keep themselves clean. That gives you lots of good health. This is what you have to understand. Your uric acid, your unnecessary different types of salts in your body, everything is eliminated along with the faulty protein. Yeah.
Thanks. This was such a beautiful explanation of the benefit of exercise. While we look normally at exercise as something that only involves the skeletal system or the muscular and skeletal system, it's very inherent, as you say, to keep the immunity of the body high.
Yeah, your lymphatic system improves a lot. Your lymphatic system is, the tonsils, the adenoid, the thymus, the appendicitis, and the spleen is the headquarters. And in the form of capillary, lymphatic tubes runs all over the body, and the lymphatic fluids are also, running through this body. If that system is good, the flow of lymphatic fluids is running through those tubes are good. Your immune system is very good. That is absolutely kept intact because of all types of exercising. That is another advantage. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. I mean, that I think for our viewers, it's important to realize that exercise is not only about just about movement or body weight, though that's how unfortunate.
It's where your fitness and the wellness comes into play.
Right.
Yeah. What is fitness? Explanation for fitness, what's happening inside are all these things.
Right. So exercise affects, as you say, exercise affects every cell of your body. It's not just your muscles and bones. Every single cell of your body needs exercise or is impacted by exercise.
Yes. Every cell gets a benefit.
Gets a benefit, right. And of course, if, the opposite is also true, that if you're leading a sedentary lifestyle, being at a computer for about 10, 12 hours a day, and then
the more you're going to sit down in one corner, and then you're going to whether you're going to be on your computer or not, where you're going to restrict your bodily movement by sitting in a corner, sitting in a room, docile and things like that. It leads you to depression because of the flow of the blood in the brain slows down. That means oxygenation and glucose supply slows down, leads to depression. Second thing is, if you are not going to exercise much, whatever bodily movement, regular bodily movement, which is definitely a particular quantum required to the body, then what happens? Your physical fatigue and mental fatigue will be high.
So, as you said, 1 hour of exercise is enough for a normal person. Is there a limit, that you should not over exercise your body? Is there some concept like that? Or should a person take such care?
Like normal individuals like you and me, like we are not boxers. The boxers go through tremendous exercise. We don't practice martial arts.
Right.
We don't practice track events. We don't practice field events. We don't practice any games. That is different. Now the point here is for living a normal life, because we don't do household work these days, more so dependent on electricity and connected electricity oriented machines. Everything has become machinery now. Previously, they used to grind masalas in their hand with the stoneware. Today, mixie is doing the job.
Yeah.
Previously, people used to wash clothes with their hand. Now, the washing machine is doing like that. Everything has become machine oriented and electricity oriented. So, our physical work towards our domestic living has come poor. And we don't walk these days. Either to even a nearby shop, we take a two-wheeler and go. Wherever we go, we get into a car inside the house and we go to the other building, stop the car, get into the building. So we don't walk much. So all these things have reduced. Yeah. If you take the village side and all that, they do a lot of walking of 10, 12 kilometers in a day, going to the fields and coming back home 2, 3 times. So for them, it's good. For us, it's not happening that way. So what happens is that if you don't not having enough of bodily activity with respect to your daily life, then to keep yourself good, 1 hour of whatever good exercise of your choice. You cannot compare yourself saying that man is doing 1 hour of skipping. You can't do all that. So whatever you prefer, whatever you like, whatever is good to you, you can do whatever it is. And over exercising will lead you to dehydration. It's not necessary. Yeah, over exercising means if the people who are in sports, different types of sports, they go for vigorous training, 3 to 4 hours in the morning, 3 to 4 hours in the evening and all that. And they compensate themselves with liquids and protein and fat and so many things.
Right.
Their nutrition becomes a very important key factor. Why they are going for such vigorous, this thing is to have their energy source to reach the optimum in their sports. You have to follow this. They have to have good energy levels at all time as the time goes by. Playing 1.5 hours of football at the international level, you have to have huge amount of energy in your body and your muscular system should be strong enough. So you need rigorous and tremendous training for it. And the heart and the lung has to support you on top of it. After 1 hour, if the coach finds a particular, he can, the coach and the manager will be on the rope. He will be looking at every player. By looking at his face, he can find out the fatigue is setting in a player. He will immediately pull him out and send a substitute. Why? Because that man is, becoming tired. And he is not going to give his optimum output for a team. So this is what you have to understand. 1 hour of exercise per person, living a normal life is more than enough. When it comes to the question of sports, there are a lot of faculties who will take care of you. For vigorous training, they support you with many things. How much of liquid you should have, how much of solid you should have, how much of protein you have for this hour, this many hours of vigorous trainings. This is what you have to understand.
So coming to, as you said, spoke about protein and fat, etc. A normal human being, what is the kind of food you should complement your exercise with?
You have your normal food.
A lot of water.
No, you have your normal food. Whatever food you have, it's always better. We have spoken enough about food. For 1 hour of exercise is to, keep your body movements. That's all. So you have your normal food, whatever you're having. There ends the matter. You don't need to support yourself with protein and this and that and whatnot. Protein and all hardly less than 1 gram required per kilo of your body. You can go through the net and find out all those things, like you have your breakfast, lunch and dinner, whatever food pattern that you're having. You don't need to do any extra effort for your 1 hour of exercise, not required at all. No. No.
So finally, what does ancient Tamil science speak on exercise, or what is ancient Tamil science recommendation on exercise?
See, ancient Tamil science, these kind of activities of, gymnasiums today, the gyms, what you call it, and all these things, pools, swimming pools, which are tiled and all that stuff, were not there those days. There were people who were having a lot of sports those days. Like Jallikattu is one of the sports. Silambam is one of the sports. A lot of, cultural dance activities are the sports. They go through vigorous training for all these things. They go through tremendous training for all those things. The defense part of the kingdom, fighting with swords and sparrows and whatnot. And they go through a lot of training. How to fight a war, how to kill an enemy, whatever. And then there were various levels of sports were available those days, for which they have to train. And evening those days, they, after 4 o'clock, all youngsters used to go and play. All those who work in the farms, they have enough of physical activity from morning till evening. So they were blessed. There was no much of transport. They used to walk a lot. There were no buses those days. Even in 1930s, 40s, there were no buses they used to walk 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, one village to another village. My grandmother used to walk from her house to a place where she got married. It's 18 kilometers. They go by walk.
Right. Yeah.
Those scenarios has changed now. So the ancient time, even about 100 years ago, they were living a blissful life with respect to physical activity. And if you take a lady, she will get up in the morning, she will milk the cow, she will heat up the milk, make tea, coffee, whatever. She cook food for all of them. They take care of the house. And then in the afternoon, they use stoneware to break lentils. They used to have work throughout the day. They don't have rest. And they all had such tremendous energy in them. They don't become tired. Because they were good enough to work. People have become mechanized now. The life has become mechanized with electricity and machines and gadgets. I have robots in my house which can sweep and swab the house. And they do it on their own. You don't even switch on them. Likewise, we have sophisticated ourselves. We are all the time with a remote in our hand and sitting and operating some equipment or the other. Where is the exercise now? In the ancient days, it was a blissful days. They lived a better life. They had more bodily activity. What has happened today? In the ancient days, there may be cancer in 1 lakh. Today, you have cancer in 10 out of 1,000. Like all kinds of ailments have gone up because of your, lazy life.
Thank you very much for spending your quality time. Thank you very much for your attention. I wish you enjoyed this session. See you later.